Welcome back, Dr. Robert, my pal Susan, the Daily Dose. Hey, we're looking for subscribers, by the way, too. If you haven't done that yet, always please subscribe. Do that right now. We've still got there that goal of 1,000. And get to yesandexercise.org to join the Shake Challenge. To that end, speaking about the Shake Challenge and foundationally what it means to us as an organization, within the Parkinson's world, one of the things that I found to be a problem is the extreme focus on the motor symptoms, right? It has shown up in the research that there is a need for greater focus and resources for the non-motor symptoms, including the emotional processes and effects Parkinson's has on individuals that leads towards motivation, that leads towards confidence. And, these are the foundations too, exercise and all the things we know to do. Without those foundational things. Yeah. So ice bucket challenge, which we mentioned, very physical. There's, the emotion is the effect of the thing, right? You're going to, freak out. That's fine. The shake challenge is tremendously more dynamic, and it's both our burden and our boon because there is, the physical shake. We know that, the tremors and dyskinesias. There's the emotional shakes, though, too. And a couple of your pieces did that today. And actually, the ones I was thinking about are along that same line. And I'll give you an example that I'm going to challenge my friends who I did the cross-country road trip, bike trip with. And I'm going to speak about the shake that I felt as I neared the start line, having just poured the Pacific Ocean onto my back wheel and looking at a map that I was going to ride 3,000 miles across the country. And there's a moment there of I may not get my first pedal stroke in because I am so freaked out by the idea of riding my bike 3,000 miles right now. And the only way in and through that was to throw the map away, as it were, out of my mind, release it, and get into mindfulness of the moment, right? One day at a time, 1 mile at a time, one pedal stroke at a time. And that way, I did not look at that thing until I was feeling inner shakes, the fears, all of those things, right? I didn't look at the map again until Pennsylvania. And by then I traveled so far that the shakes had settled. So that's a shake challenge moment too.
Did you not look at the map intentionally, or because you were afraid to look at it,
It
or
scared me.
didn't want
It
to
scared
know?
me because it was that moment of near panic attack. All the you can't do this. Who are you to think you could do this? You're insane to write it. I mean, to drive a car across country is a pretty major. This country is a pretty major undertaking, right? I mean, even for decent drivers, if you're driving straight 5, 6 days, probably,
Yeah.
somewhat comfortably. But I mean, to ride a freaking bike,
And did you
um,
have people saying that, Robert, I'm worried about you, Robert, you're crazy, don't do it, or any of that?
really not too much. Most people they were either supportive or rather in awe.
Okay.
And I didn't think too much about it, which again,
Till the start line.
yeah, exactly. That's when it suddenly becomes very real. It's like, oh, I'm really doing this. And I had trained and all that was adequate. Um, that still doesn't, for any challenge you're going to take on, the shakes, the confidence, the fears, that emotional side, that's a big part of what we're doing. And so,
Robert, it's huge.
yeah, I want to insert that to make sure it's very clear in the shake challenge to say, yes, we can have the physical side of it and the emotional side. That's where we're going to make our difference. I think that's where we're going to go. Oh, that's the
And
gap they're filling.
that's what we've learned in Yes and Exercise. The way you teach improv is um, kind of right on the edge. There are moments when maybe we are uncomfortable, and you've taught us a way, and we've learned together as a little community how you can trust those uncomfortable moments. And we're flirting with danger here because of real physical shakes that people who have Parkinson's, they may find us right on the edge of not being okay.
Yeah.
and it's the way we handle it, and it's the way we're embracing it. And I don't know, it's done with love and support, but it's such a new idea and a new concept that
Well, especially knowing the detrimental value of stress on Parkinson's, right? That's well documented. And so if you want to talk about exacerbating shakes, again, this is where the emotional, which isn't well dealt with. So what do we do? Like you said, we play with it. We exercise in that space on purpose. We fail big on purpose to recognize, oh, that resilience is what the shake challenge is about. I've been shaken and I'm going to get right back. That's what we do. And that is your daily dose.